Well, hi, I'm Alan at the plant farm, and you may have received in the mail this week a order of Fish Bone Cactus. So if you look online, you may see some confusion there, but the fish bone is Selenoceras. I noticed online when I was looking that there's a few other cactus that are being presented, like a rickrack, which is an epiphyllum family. But we're going to focus right here on the fish bone, on how to propagate it. Now, one of the things I'm very pleased at is that when your order is fulfilled, they're pretty generous in how they send you the cutting. Cutting's about twice the size of what you really need, so we're going to divide this into two. So instead of 2 cuttings, you're going to end up with 4. Now, I also have discovered that with this particular fish bone, it's a relatively easy plant to propagate. In fact, a lot of cactus are. One of the things you got to remember, though, you can't get in a rush, because the day that you cut them is not the day that you want to plant them. In fact, it'd be best if we waited 4 to 5 days and allowed the cutting to callus over. And so we're going to make that assumption that this cutting has calloused over. Now, one of the differences between the rickrack cactus and the fish bone is you'll find that the fish bone actually is pretty aggressive about growing what we call an adventitious root. This is just a root that grows right out into the middle of the air. It responds to the humidity that's around it. You can see here on this cutting the same thing. The other thing with this particular fish bone is it's not as difficult to figure out which is up and which is down. In fact, you look at the structure, it's almost like a bracket on a shelf. So it's got the supporting and then the straight across. So supporting is down, straight across is like the shelf bracket. Now, we still want to use our rotone, which we use rotone here at the greenhouse all the time. Do millions of cuttings and use rotone. I've poured some into a little can here just for easy use. We're going to go ahead and put our rotone on each of our cuttings. And then we'll just simply take our cutting. Now, we've got soil here, and it's pretty important with cactus that it be a well-drained soil. You don't want to use a lot of peat. This particular soil has pumice, it has perlite. It also has some bark in it, as well as peat. So it's a well-blended, but I think it's very important on cactus. Use a well-drained soil. And we're going to, because we have that adventitious root, we're going to stick it in there, stick it in our soil, insert the cactus well into the pot. So it's not going to take a long time to actually begin the propagation process. It's going to take a few weeks to get some growth. But with these adventurous roots, they're going to grow relatively quick. And then the final thing is I recommend that you take the Ziploc bag that you receive your cutting in and use it as a little mini greenhouse. It should take you maybe 4 to 6 weeks and you should see some growth on this. Now, this small cutting right here, it's going to take some time before it becomes a plant like this. But I think you'd be pleasantly surprised at how quickly they do grow. And it's a lot of fun to watch it. It's unique and it's a different plant and not that easy to find. I'm Alan at the plant farm, and I hope you enjoy propagating the fish bone cactus.